Well, hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to this special interview with Mayim Vega here at Podapalooza 2025. I am Wendy, the Financial Lion, host of the Wealth and Wisdom Show, where we help people heal, grow, and thrive to enjoy true wealth in every area of their life, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, of course. And with me today is a wonderful guest, Mayim Vega, and she was once a NASA computer scientist turned holistic healer. Talk about a flip. She's founded Aruka.com to empower individuals to become holistic healers for themselves, their families, and their communities. She overcame a personal health crisis after the modern medical system failed her, and this battle fuels her dedication to helping others reclaim their health and wellness. Welcome, Mayim. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Hello, Wendy. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here as well.
Awesome. So tell me about this medical crisis that really turned your whole life around.
It started well, it didn't start when I was a NASA computer scientist, but I was a computer scientist at NASA, and then I got married and had children.
Uh-huh.
And so I felt like I wanted to do a career change because I wanted to be a work from home mom
Hmm.
to stay with my babies.
Right, right.
One at that time, but now I have seven
Oh,
of my
wow.
own. But after the first one, I knew that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But when I first told my husband, he was like, "Well, you make too much money, and we live in the Silicon Valley. It's very expensive here." So I decided to build a work from home business instead.
Hmm.
And my first business was basically doing programming, web development, and app development for high tech companies. That
Hmm.
was a kind of a natural transition from being a computer scientist at NASA. Um, and then during that, whole first entrepreneurship experience, I had two children by this time, and I started getting these massive migraines. And when I went to the doctor, they thought that I had a brain tumor.
Oh my gosh.
And then they ran a bunch of tests, and they said, well, good news, you don't have a brain tumor. Bad news, we have no idea what's wrong with you.
Oh boy.
And so it was really bad because I couldn't function. Eventually it got so bad that I couldn't function in my business anymore. I couldn't take care of my children properly. And then when it got to the point where I couldn't sleep anymore, I was like, okay, well,
Oh geez.
I need to just take my health into my own hands.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the first time that I had a negative experience with the modern medical system, but I had resolved that it would be my last.
Yes.
And then I decided to become a holistic healer, and I studied nutrition and herbalism, and eventually also later holistic life coaching because that was a big part of my
Mm.
healing journey. And
Are
I
you
was able
healed
to heal
now?
myself. Yes, I was
Uh,
able to heal myself then. And I found out that I had deficiency in B12, which was partly
really?
caused, which was partly caused to by my vegetarian slash vegan diet,
Oh
and
wow.
it was also um, partly caused by the stress that I was experiencing as a new entrepreneur. You
Well,
know,
yeah, you're juggling two kids, you have a business.
yeah,
That's just having two children is enough to keep you up at night and, keep you
having one
running throughout
child.
the day. I can't imagine having two
Yeah,
little kids
exactly.
and your own business. And it was just, here's what gets me. You go to the medical establishment, if you will, to say, why am I having these migraines? And it was a simple B12 deficiency. That just blows my mind.
And they couldn't, yeah, and they didn't. I mean,
Yeah, they
now as
jumped
an
to, oh, you might have a brain tumor. Like, add
yeah,
that to my
right.
list of
Yeah, give you
stresses that I'm
CT
dealing
scan.
with right now, right?
Yeah, yeah. They didn't say like now, when people come to me as a naturopathic herbalist, I say, what's your diet like? And if I
Right.
see that they don't eat a lot of animal products, I say, well, maybe it's B12, and
Yeah.
then I ask, see if I think everyone is deficient in magnesium. So that's kind of like just, most people should just supplement with magnesium. That's also a major cause of headaches and migraines.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah,
I know several people that have migraines. So if that's all they need to do is just start taking more magnesium, they'd be ecstatic.
it could be. There's no guarantee. Everyone's different. There's
Uh-huh.
a lot of different causes, but there are a lot of easy, safe, natural things that people can try. And so
Yes,
B12 is one of
absolutely.
them.
Yep.
Magnesium is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting better sleep, reducing EMFs, and if they're not sure how that is, that's another thing that I can help them with, or you can do research on that, reducing EMF exposure.
Well, tell the audience what EMFs are exactly.
They're basically invisible electromagnetic magnetic
Frequencies.
frequencies that are emitted by our electronic devices
Our cell
that
phones that are
also
never more than probably a foot from our hand at all times.
also computers,
Mm-hmm.
smart meters, even the cell tower that you may be living next to. You
Right.
might have to move.
Yeah.
Your wireless internet device that provides your house with internet.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to turn that off at night. If you live in an apartment where it's kind of hard to escape it because your neighbors are
Oh,
bombarding you
right.
with EMFs,
Yeah.
you could do EMF paint, special EMF paint that blocks the EMFs. There's a lot of different
Oh,
things you can
really?
do.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
it really depends on the person's living situation and whether it's that or not. The simplest thing that you could do is just put your phone on airplane mode, try not to keep it near you, try to put it across the room, not near you. There's
Hmm.
a lot of simple, it depends how EMF sensitive you are, and everyone's different,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I heard about the smart meters and people getting terrible, like you said, migraines and things like that when once they were installed in their homes.
Yes,
So
that's
that
right.
just boils down to an EMF.
It
Uh,
could, yes.
yeah.
Or it could also be a combination of things, combination of
Mm,
EMFs, poor sleep, lack of magnesium, lack of B12,
right.
stress, because, your body might be able to withstand one thing, but when you bombard it with all these different, toxins, whether they
Yeah.
be uh, or deficiencies,
Hmm.
then, the weaker it
Well,
is.
I love that you take a holistic look and not only look at maybe what's lacking in their blood, but what's going on in their home and their lives, all of that.
Yes.
I would,
Stress is usually an underlying cause for most things, I would say.
it's funny that you say that because disease simply means to be not at ease in your body. And what is the opposite of that? It's stress. So I really
Mm,
think that stress is at the root of every health issue that we face in some way, shape, or form. I've seen people that I know that were taking care of a sick person in their family for years. They got super stressed. And what happens? They come down with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And you can just tie those seriously stressful situations, especially if they're going on for a long time to physical, it manifests physically. It's like your body's going, this is too much. This is too much. I need you to stop. I need you to slow down. Take care of me.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So how do you do that with your clients? What approach do you take?
yes, well, what? Actually, that is partly what I wanted to share today. So I'm an Orthodox Jew, and I also study Kabbalah.
Hmm.
And so I have this talk that I give sometimes on the Kabbalah of healing and the five levels of the soul. So and I teach biblical Hebrew and things like that. So I have a lot of background on this.
Hmm.
And there's five Hebrew words in the Bible that are often translated as soul. And the first level is nephesh, and it's often translated as the living being. And it
Hmm.
represents our life force or our vital soul that's associated with our physical existence. And so, to nourish this and to help this level of our soul heal, this is everything that we do for our body. that's physical, such as eating right, exercising, sleeping, etc.
Hmm.
And then so I help people on that level. And then the next level would be the ruach, or the spirit. And this represents our emotional soul, which, corresponds to our feelings and our moral virtues. And this is what allows us, the ruach is what allows us to experience feelings and emotions. And it serves as the intermediate soul level that bridges our basic instincts with our higher reasoning. So to take care of our ruach, we have to make sure that we don't let our emotions manage us, but that we manage our emotions.
Right.
And to really be okay with the whole range of emotions, there are no negative emotions. They're all given to us by God, by the divine. But that each emotion has its purpose. Allow it to release itself
Hmm.
in whatever way is constructive, because that's what it's there for. Our emotions are there to help us. They're not there to work against us. But
Hmm.
we also have to not let it get out of control.
Yeah, provided you manage them and you don't go off into a rage or,
Yes,
like what
there's a
happens on the
healthy
freeways
outlet.
with road rage and things like that. We need to manage our emotions for sure. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and road rage, that would be an example of letting our emotions manage us
Hmm.
instead of us managing our emotions and finding healthy ways for, to release them,
Yeah.
constructive ways. And then the next level of the soul is called the neshama, and it's often translated as soul. Ruach is sometimes translated as spirit, but
Okay.
neshama is usually translated as soul or sometimes breath in the Bible.
Hmm.
And the neshama is our intellectual soul, and it relates to our human capacity for abstract thought and higher intellectual functions.
Hmm.
And this level of the soul connects us to divine wisdom, and it enables us to discern deeper spiritual truths and also ethical understandings, and to heal and nurture our neshama, to keep it healthy. I believe it's all about knowledge, personal development,
Hmm.
reading of sacred texts, meditating on them, personal development, in inspiring authors, podcasters, things like this.
Yes.
And then the next level of the soul is Chaya, and it's often it's referred to as our living essence. And this level of the soul transcends individual consciousness and links us to all existence, even the animals. And it represents a higher level of awareness and spiritual consciousness that begins to perceive the unity and purpose of all things. And to keep this level of the soul healthy, we have to make sure that our actions are in line with our purpose.
Mhm.
We can go deeply into that, but in a nutshell, that is that. And also, this purpose and these actions, it should be aligned with with others, with nature, with our world. They shouldn't be actions. Basically, we shouldn't be just acting out of selfishness only, but
Yeah.
with a global consciousness.
Hmm.
And then the last level of the soul is Yechida. This is the highest level of the soul. And it could mean uniqueness or oneness or singularity. And it's based on the number one, Yechida, or unity.
Hmm.
And it's the essence of the soul that binds an individual directly to the divine. It's understanding that we are one with the divine and that we can embody complete oneness with God. And Yehida is the core of our spiritual identity and the part of the soul that remains eternally intact and unchanging. No matter what we do, you know, we still have to always remember that we have a divine soul. And the value of that divine soul can never be diminished, even by our actions, even our negative actions. And when we understand that and we connect to our, inner divine soul, we can keep that level healthy. And that's, I believe that sometimes if you don't understand the lower levels, it's harder to get to that highest level. But I
Yeah, I
do
was
believe
going to ask you, what level do you start at? Is there one that has to heal for the other to follow?
I couldn't tell a person where to start at. I think that's every individual's journey. sometimes one level will inspire them to work on the other levels. Like I believe personally that if you work on your neshama, which is increasing your knowledge about certain things,
Hmm.
then you'll be better equipped to take care of your nefesh, your body, or
Right.
you will understand more how to take care of your divine soul, etc. So
Yeah.
perhaps I would say maybe nisham is the key, and that it has to do with knowledge. But really, if you only focus on that and you neglect the others, there's also dis-ease.
Right. Right. But knowledge is only good once you apply it and then it becomes wisdom, right?
Yes, true. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
that's where
once,
the haya comes in.
yeah. So knowledge gives you the awareness, probably, to know that you are lacking in these other areas or levels, as you say, and then you go from there.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I believe that is a really good entry point and really what I focus on. How do I help people heal? It's I
Mhm.
don't diagnose, prescribe, or treat disease. Really,
Right?
I empower them with knowledge,
Yes.
and then I
Yeah.
support them as they take action based on the knowledge
Yes.
that I give them. Yes.
And what do you think? What is I guess it would be up to the individual, but is there a typical time frame where someone can heal and go through these levels that so now they feel complete and fulfilled and
I think
loved and they are loving? What is there a typical time frame that they go through or?
Well, I mean, there's miracles, right? And when
Mm,
there's a miracle that happens, that it can be instant and everything can flow out of that. It's always, though, a lifelong journey, really,
mm,
to holistic health and healing.
right.
And as we go through life, there will be more challenges that are going to be thrown at us, and understanding that they are for a good, ultimate good, and they're not there to harm us, but to test us and make us stronger. I
Mm,
think that's a key part of it. But yes, healing could come instantly, but we also have to understand that healing is a lifelong journey until until the next world, really, I believe.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I really love that your mess, if you will, when you got misdiagnosed by, the mainstream medical establishment really become your message. And I love it when people take the challenges and the difficulties that they've been through and they come out the other side and now they take others by the hand and go, here's what I've learned. Let me show it to you as well.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely. And I
yes.
think that is part of connecting with our divine self, is
Mm,
understanding that the challenges that we go through in life are there for a reason, and it's our it can become our mission, and it can empower us to do great
yeah.
things, really.
Yes. It's like the testing of me becomes my testimony,
Yes.
right? So, do you have
Absolutely.
any closing words for the audience today? How they can reach you, where they can find you?
Yes, sure. So just that we are physical and emotional and spiritual beings, and also we're not just ourselves, we are also the world.
Mm,
We're all a member of one global body, and just to remember that, and also that success is not doesn't just have to do with finances or career
right.
or
Yeah.
business, but true
Yep.
success is holistic, and it has to do with
Yes.
success in health, success in relationships, and also success on a personal and spiritual level. And this is true success.
Yes.
And if anyone is interested in becoming a holistic healer, my website for that is aruka.com, ARUKAH.com.
Say that again one more time.
Yes, that's aruka.com, ARUKAH.com.
Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, I always say if you're a billionaire and you're lying in a sick bed dying of stage 4 cancer, you're not wealthy. You're just a sick guy with a lot of money.
Yes,
So
or
I
alone.
really, yeah, I love
Yeah,
it that you look at the whole being to make them truly wealthy in every aspect of life. I love
absolutely.
that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. I really enjoyed this conversation and I hope to see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay, you're welcome.